Iran's new president has pushed a message of national unity and reconciliation during his inauguration. Speaking just after he was sworn in, Ebrahim Raisi also said his country's nuclear program is peaceful and that pressure and sanctions won't deter the Iranian people. Raisi faces several challenges as he enters office, including regional tensions, an economic downturn and the pandemic.
The Iranian peaceful nuclear program is peaceful. The nuclear weapons has nothing to do with the policy and the strategy of Iran. Pressures and sanctions will never let down the Iranian people. We will defend our right in scientific development. Sanctions on the Iranians should come to an end.
Ali Hashim joins us now live from Tehran. Ali, a really wide-ranging speech from Raisi addressing economic challenges, foreign policy, as well as, of course, the nuclear program. What were the big takeaways for you?
Well, Ebrahim Raisi is presenting himself, positioning himself, as everyone expected before, as a revolutionary president of Iran, and contrary to the pragmatic president that was before him. So he used the narratives of the Islamic Revolution of 1979, talking about the oppressed, saluting the jihadi groups who were in the hall in the ceremony, and at the same time, there was something new, which was concentrating more on regional dialogue, regional security, while just giving a slight attention to the West. And it was clear that Ebrahim Raisi wanted to say, our priority is the region. We are ready to listen to whatever initiatives there are for the nuclear program, but this is not going to be our priority. This is what he tried to say. As for the internal side of his speech, and that was a long side, it was clear that he wanted to show that he is in the middle between all, trying to bring people on his side in this fight against what he said, corruption, trying to get the country out of the economic crisis, trying to push with some social changes. So this is what Ebrahim Raisi had to say today in his long speech, but at the same time, he didn't present his government as it was expected. This is going to be maybe next week, as he said. And at the end, he emphasized on everything related to the principles of the Islamic Revolution and the Supreme Leader's directions to him and to his new government.
Ali, this president has been described as ultra-conservative, as being a hardliner, and yet he talked a lot about national reconciliation, as you mentioned, saying, you know, our people want us to be the voice of the poor, the voice for social freedoms. What should we read into all of that?
At the beginning of his speech, he said, I'm the servant of the people. And the slogan he used during this presidential campaign was the government of the people. And this is what he wanted to say from the beginning, that he is trying to represent these peoples. Now, with extending his hand to the other factions in the country, to the moderates, to the reformists, he's trying to maybe, as from the beginning, to create a feeling of national unity. And that's why he said this is a government of national consensus. However, the country, he needs this because the country is in a real economic crisis. The country is facing external challenges, threats. So without having this national unity around him and as his government, he is going to be criticized. He's going to be faced with a lot of questions. And at the same time, he's not going to be able to go through in his plans. Now, he has the Parliament on his side, and this is what the Parliament's Speaker said at the beginning of the ceremony. He has the judiciary, and he was previously the head of the judiciary. So his successor was telling him, "You are also on your side with respect to the to fighting corruption." However, he needed other factions, and this is why he's right now extending his hand to them, so that the more he can have maybe advice, the more he can have national consensus around him, the more he can have people at least tolerating his government's misachievements at the beginning, the more he can push forward. Because at the end, if Ebrahim Raisi, by the end of the 4 years, was able to come out with a positive result and end the economic crisis, this is going to be a great achievement for him, and this is going to be his legacy for the future.
All right, thank you for that update there, Ali Hashim, live for us in Tehran.